Okay, so our last piece of our segment here for week one, we're going to end this off with a couple of things. One of the things we're going to do this week, or this year, we're going to try to pick each winner of each game each week.
Yep.
And you know what, maybe we'll make a little contest between you and
Okay.
I. And if we can, we might even throw it up on the site and get people out there to have a running total to see who can beat who. The 3 games this week: Toronto down in Florida versus New York. Who are you taking?
Okay, I'm going to pick Toronto in this one. I think that they're going to come out of the gate really quick, and because there's no home field advantage here. There's no home floor advantage. Who knows what kind of crowd they're going to have down there. New York and Eddie Como, I guess they feel they got a lot to prove, but so do the Rock.
Yeah.
And I picked the Rock in a high-scoring contest.
I agree with you there. As I said, New York's one of my sentimental favorite teams, but I do believe with what Toronto's done in the offensive side of the floor, I think they're going to score a lot of goals. And I agree with you. I think that's something we're going to see this year a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of high-scoring games.
Yes.
And I think they'll be on the winning end of a lot of them.
Yeah, I do too.
Game number 2, the defending champions, home to the Philadelphia Wings. Buffalo at home to Philadelphia.
Well, Buffalo has 19 guys coming back from last year's roster. Philadelphia, as we just spoke of, has lost Jake Berge, Jason Crosby, Atal to Iannucci. Buffalo in this one by 5.
And I agree with you there. Injuries aside, this is a place where home field advantage is a huge thing. And I guarantee you that place is going to be rocking tomorrow night, celebrating the championship from last year.
The Bandits fans are going to be gnawing the door handles off that place around 5 o'clock tomorrow night to get in there. So.
Exactly. And the last game, Portland is at home to their new division rival, the Minnesota Swarm.
Okay, Portland don't have a lot to go on. Minnesota, 17 guys coming back. I picked Minnesota in this one by a touchdown.
Converted touchdown?
No, I won't go that far.
So by 6.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to agree with you there. There's no confrontation here this week. I agree with you. Minnesota, I think, is potentially one of those teams in the West that could win that division. And I just, as I said earlier, I hope I'm wrong, but I think Portland's going to struggle a little bit this year. So I'm going to agree with you on that. So both of us taking Minnesota, Buffalo, and Toronto this weekend in the 3 games. Moving on now in the Western Division, let's hear who you have as who you believe will be the division champion, and I will give you one other team. If it's not them, who will it be?
Colorado. If not, Minnesota.
I can't disagree with you. I wish I could, just to make this a little bit more interesting.
Yep.
I think Colorado not making the playoffs last year, or sorry, Colorado not advancing in the playoffs last year, is going to motivate them this year large.
Definitely.
As you said, they've got probably, if not the best, one of the best fan bases in the league. And I think there's just too many talented guys there. They didn't lose a lot. They got a little bit younger on the offensive side of the ball. And no weaknesses still in Colorado. And I will say as well, I agree with your pick of Minnesota going into the Western Division. They are going to make some noise.
I believe so.
I won't be shocked at all if they win that division. In the East,
you go first this time.
Well, we talked about it earlier, and I truly believe the Buffalo Bandits have gotten better than they were last year. They're starting off the season healthier than they were for a lot of last year. They are the defending champions. There's a big target on their back. The only thing that I'm going to throw out there, and it's been discussed a little bit, and you can read it all over the internet and the fan forums and such, a lot of people still aren't convinced on the dual goaltenders. They don't know that there really isn't, or there wasn't in the playoffs anyways, a number 1 guy. Is there going to be a number 1 guy, and can he take the load? If not, or if one of them can't, or they both falter, that might be the only undoing. But I think Buffalo should win that division. And being as harsh a guy as I am, I will go back again and say I'm very, very impressed with what the Toronto Rock did in this past offseason. If it's not Buffalo, I truly believe Toronto could be that team to win that division. They did get a lot better. I think Rochester got a lot weaker. I think Philadelphia is a lot weaker, at least to start the season without Iannucci. And I think that Boston is just too new. New York, They've definitely got the goaltending,
Yeah.
and they've got the youth.
Yeah.
And of course, this year I'm not going to pick them. They'll probably go out and win.
Yep, more than likely. I can't help but agree with you with your picks. Based on last year, especially with 19 guys coming back and a healthier lineup to start the year off with, that Buffalo was without a doubt the team of choice. Toronto, with all the additions they've made, is going to be very close, if not eclipse them, because all it takes, Gary, is to get the momentum in one game. And you got it. And the one thing that rocked with that firepower up front and maybe questionable goaltending in the back end for Buffalo and a contest like that, it's going to end up who scores,
who scores last.
Who scores the last goal in one of those games. So, and the only other team that, because I always keep that little bit in me that, well, having grown up with the Leafs all my life and stuff, I've seen them, not win 14 games and all of a sudden knock off the Habs in a big game on a Saturday night or something. Boston could do this. Yeah. Boston could walk into the ACC. Toronto's won 5 in a row. Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, they got egg on their faces. So, Buffalo, Toronto, and the spoiler is Boston.
So those are our fearless picks, and as we said last year, and we had to use last year, we reserve the right to change those at any point in time. That's it for our first episode this year. Enjoy everybody, and enjoy the games this weekend. Yeah, attend a lacrosse game near you soon, and don't forget, catch the social disease that's sweeping the nation, lacrosse. He's Ron Messer. I'm Gary Mark. Stay safe, be good, keep your stick in the air.